the Amelia vest, which is very beautiful. It's $200, which is a great price because it's really hefty. It has a nice weight to it, and it's made of wool. Beautiful. Has really great little interior pockets. You can keep your keys or your ticket stubs. Tell us about this piece and the beautiful colors. The stripes are really nice.
Yeah, in my mind I call it the desert stripe.
Yeah.
It's just like a mix of it's very subtle, tonal. It's pretty heavyweight wool.
Yes.
Really great broad stripes, and I just really wanted this. I'm starting to do outerwear,
Right.
just to layer onto the collection, and I thought, you know, a vest would be a perfect layering piece because everything I do is a little bit, you know, it's more of a like a base layer, not base layer, but you know, it's like a shirt or top.
Right. And I think it's great because it can be worn with so many different pieces without it being a huge statement piece. It kind of goes with anything, whether you want a t-shirt or a very nice blouse or something. It's really nice and, of course, warm, which is important when it's rain, snowing, and you have to be outdoors and it's horrible. But it's really nice and, of course, a great weight and a great price. I think that's one thing about your collection that's so fantastic is everything is incredibly well made and incredibly well priced. How can you do that? It's amazing.
I keep my hands into everything, the production, the sales, and I want it to be personal as the company's growing. I still want to be able to understand how everything happens.
Right.
And I don't spend a lot of money on advertising and, you know, flashy parties and runway shows. You know, I keep it's supposed to be like very casual American clothing, and I want it to be affordable. I want people to be able to buy clothing that's, you know, well made.
I think that's great, and certainly I know shoppers appreciate that because it's not exorbitantly expensive and it's still beautiful. And of course, you're wearing Fischer right now, and it's just lovely, as you can see. It's just so well tailored. The next two pieces I want to talk about are the Elena shirt and the Carmen skirt, which has this really great print. It's actually the one that you're wearing. It's this beautiful bird and floral Liberty print. The blouse is $155, and the skirt is $155 as well, which is, again, crazy prices because these pieces are so well made. It's beautiful cotton, beautiful prints, easy to wear, and really nicely tailored. Tell us about the print. How did you find this? It's so cute.
It's by Liberty of London. They're pretty famous.
They're pretty big. They're a big deal.
But actually, I fell in love with it because if you look closely, you can see the little strawberries. They're actually yellow on this top. And the name of the print is called Strawberry Thief, which is adorable.
It's adorable. Very cute.
I like that you know, it can look very serious and a little almost stuffy, but then you have that nuance of, you know, just sweetness with the birds and the little strawberries. So it's cute. It's actually designed by William Morris, who's a famous print and pattern designer from the 1800s. So I also I'm a history buff, so
really?
That's why I always use, you know, if you look back through all my collections, it's always, there's vintage infusions in everything.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I want to mention, you use a lot of pockets. All the skirts have pockets. Of course, the vest has a pocket. The dress has pockets. Tell us about pockets. Why pockets?
Women love pockets.
It's true. I definitely like a pocket.
Almost every dress that I design needs pockets. And it's actually kind of almost an homage to my favorite designer, who is Claire Mercado. I'm not sure if you're familiar. But that was also one of her signatures, is that everything has to have ultimate function. You know, clothing can be beautiful and, you know, designed really well, but it also matters to have function. And one of my favorite quotes was, you know, a lady must have someone to put her hands.
I love that. That's a great quote. And I think certainly I always want to, it's nice to be able to do that. And certainly the next skirt, the Alice skirt, in this really beautiful whale cord, the moutarde color, which is so pretty, is beautiful and has pockets. And it's really still very slim, though, and slenderizing. It has that nice kind of slim to the knees fit, and it's $165, and it's really, really chic and pretty. Tell us about the color, because the color is kind of different. It's almost a chartreusey kind of yellow.
Yes, it was just basically when I was coming up with the palette, I was very interested, and a lot of it was based on this print even, where it just has like the navies and, you know, this rich kind of yellowy gold color. And it was just really the color and the weight of the corduroy that drew me in. And in my mind when designing, it's, you know, if you have this perfect fabric and, you know, you just can make this very simple silhouette out of it and just not, you know, keep the details minimal.
Right. Which I think makes sense. And the fabric is beautiful. It's this really heavy, heavy cord and thick cord, too, which is nice. So, of course, Fischer is not your name. Will you tell us where that name came from?
that makes sense. I don't want it to, it's not about me and my personal, it is about my personal taste, but I try to take into account like, you know, Americana and what, you know, everybody wants to wear.
Right.
And I wanted something that sounded very kind of casual and, you know, just easy.
Yeah.
And especially for, I do men's, I have
Right.
a full men's line, and I wanted something that could translate easily for men's and women.
Mm-hmm.
And I love a lot of heritage brands, how they have a last name. So
Yeah.
I was trying to go back through my family history, and my mom's last name is Brown, which it doesn't work because there started like 1,000 companies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, all right, you know, my mom is part Scottish and part English, so well, you know, a Scottish name would be cool.
Yeah.
So I just went back through and like found a couple names in the history, and I was like, all right, well, Fischer sounds really cool. And it just kind of stuck. Like I kept tossing around other names that sounded nice, but I loved the way it looked.
Yeah, which is important.
Very aesthetic person.
Yes.
When I laid it out, you know, in the font and everything that I liked, it was just kind of, yeah, so.
There's almost something quite friendly about it, I think. It sounds like a neighbor or someone that you know. It's very American and it's very approachable, which I think is really nice. And it's certainly kind of your aesthetic, too, which is great.
Well, one little project I'm working on now is getting a logo mascot.
Oh.
Like a Fischer, Fischer is an animal, which is kind of weasel-like.
Oh,
And really cute. So I'm working on getting like a little Fischer as a logo.
Oh, cute. Everybody likes an animal logo. Who doesn't like that? The last piece I want to talk about is the beautiful Candace dress in herringbone. It's 180. Of course, it has pockets, too. And it's this really nice, easy shift. It's kind of Audrey Hepburn at the office, very chic. Tell us about this piece.
Again, it's a little bit 60s inspired.
Yeah.
I think the whole collection kind of had that bent to it. And I used the same herringbone in the men's collection. I like to share fabrics a lot, and I was just trying to think of an easy layering dress where you could layer under or over. Because for me, you know, all the pieces kind of have to have a multi-use in order to make it, you know, it's like if you're going to invest in something, you want to be able to use it for a bunch of different occasions.
Right.
So, you know, it's very great because you could layer a blouse under it and make it a jumper, or you can just layer something over it and make it, you know, like a dress underneath a cardigan.
And it's so easy to wear, too.
Yeah.
And very office appropriate, which I think is great. It's hard to find things that you can wear to the office and that are appropriate for that, and you feel professional and look really nice. And so many of your pieces are just, they're so well tailored. You feel like you put it on and automatically feel like very important executive, which is always good. How did you get started designing?
Wow. Well, I've been designing, I've been sewing since I was 11.
That's a long
time
time.
for that.
Yeah.
So I've always had an interest in art and design. So I went to college for fashion, and I've been working in the industry for 10 years now. So a couple years ago, I just kind of started this project. I was freelancing at the time and had a lot of time on my hands. So I took that opportunity to just start creating, you know, it was all very organic. I started creating a small collection, just more as a project for my portfolio.
Yeah.
Just a personal project to say, all right, well, if I were just to design, you know, because when you work for another company, you're always designing with their hand.
Right.
Which is great, and I think that's, you know, you always have to have and using mind when you design, but, you know, for me, I was just like, let me do what I want for once. And so I just kept rolling with it, and it's been going pretty well.
Yes, definitely going really well. And we're so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing the collection and telling us more about it. And we'll be back at 2:30 with Jubilee Riot, a very exciting jewelry designer. And we'll see you later. Thanks so much.